everyone, this is the JJRC Tracker. This is positioned as a starter aerial photography drone. It does have an SD card slot right there. It's made as kind of a soft touch plastic. You do get extra props and a battery charger in the package. The battery is a 610 milliamp 1S LiPo. I do not think, well, I know we won't be able to work through all the features in one video. So if there's enough interest in the GPS waypoints, leave a comment down below and we'll look into that, doing another video for that feature set. It does come with a remote that's all clearly labeled. As you can see, it doesn't hold this up well, but it has the return to home, take a photo, video. This is for us landing and taking off. Stop is emergency stop and calibration. I am going to get it powered on. I'll get the Wi-Fi connected to it, and we'll also do the calibration off screen. The calibration, you long press the calibration button and then you rotate it counterclockwise horizontally until it gives you the beep. Excuse me, you do nose up and then you rotate it counterclockwise until you get another solid light. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, the geo calibration is finally complete, and it does take a while, so don't be confused about that. It's not quick and simple. It does take some time. It takes multiple tries. I actually did it 3 times this try, but I've tried it twice before, and once it took quickly. The second time it didn't really lock on ever in the nose up position. This time it took a little while, but it was reasonable at least. We've got some nice features. I don't suspect you can see those across the top of the screen to give you some information. And you can look at the application online and kind of get a feel for how it looks and what it does. Obviously we've got photo and video on there, but it should also work. We should be able to press the SL button to get the motors running slowly, but they're not.
This is one of those moments when you get kind of frustrated with equipment when it doesn't work quite as you think it should work. I didn't allow this to stop me. I decided to be determined and to try to figure this out. And what I did learn, the calibration, there seems to be a speed mechanism in which if you rotate it too fast or if you rotate it unevenly, that the calibration takes longer and it's waiting, especially in the nose up position. So when you have yours and you're rotating it horizontally or vertically with the nose up, you kind of have to find that sweet spot between how fast or how slow you have to get it. And you also want it to stay pretty much in that position, whether it's horizontal or nose up. You don't want it to waver too much. After the geomagnetism calibration, you also need to do a calibration on the ground. So once the machine is sitting on the down, you need to do sticks both in towards the corners, towards the center of the remote. The machine will flash and then you let it off, and then the SL button will allow it to take off. One other thing to note is that during this particular recording, which was my 3rd time out with the machine, the video on board did not record well. There was a file and there was data within the file, but unfortunately that data was unusable for this video recording. So I'm going to use one of the other video recordings I did after I did this recording. I went out without the hat cam and I did several more flights and more charges, but unfortunately I was running out of daylight in order to charge it again and then do it all again once I had it really, I think, figured out.
There we go. I had to turn the remote on and off a couple times, but I finally got it to work. Now we should be able to just lift. You can see it kind of moving around there, trying to hold its position. It's not very windy. Whoa, don't let it get too close to the brick wall. Let's go up more and bring it out this way. It's fighting me. Now it's kind of settling in. So, pretty stable for a brush machine. It is very calm out. I finally got a good day to fly it. You get a little bit of a listen. Let's go forward. It does have different speeds. This isn't a sport flyer by any stretch, but watches as I go forward. I'll go full stick forward, and it wants to stop on a dime, and it kind of swirls around. It hovers in place. Let's go ahead and let's go up a little bit more. Take a picture of our neighbor's house. More. So photo. Got a little sound on the screen. Oh, here comes a family. Watch out for the drone! Look, Ma, no hands. Hello? No way, Jose.
Why not?
because that would be dangerous. Those blades would hurt you, sweetheart. Okay, let's take a video. Get a different tone for video. Let's go up. What do you think? Say hello to the internet. Into the camera.
Hi, internet!
You don't have to yell. Okay, back to the tracker. Video on screen looks pretty good. I'm going to go up a little bit more. Well, this isn't that kind of vehicle, honey. It's more about aerial photography. Let's go up. It's not quite to the treetops. So it's relatively high now.
How high is it?
I don't know, honey. Let's see what it says on the screen. I can't hardly read it. It says 16 meters high. It says 16 meters high.
Higher!
That seems like a lot more than 16 meters. Okay, let's see what it says now. Now it says 22 meters high.
Higher!
Honey, I don't want to lose it. Okay, let's have some quiet time now, please. So we've been taking video the whole time. It's got a nice shot, nice round shot of the landscape. It does tell us on screen that we're at 44% battery already. And part of that's probably because we're taking video. So let's stop the video. And we do get a flashing icon on the application, which is nice. So let's stop that. It says video saved on screen and in 2 languages. Let's go ahead and take another video from that position. I think I've lost Wi-Fi connection with it. I don't see any movement on screen anymore. Right when I press stop video. Let's start the video again. No, I'm not getting any activity on screen now. Okay, let's bring it down, see if we can gather that again. Maybe it's because the battery's starting to get low. Yeah, nothing on screen is updating anymore. Brought it down quite a bit. Still says 22 meters high. This is the distance away from its starting point, which was just behind us, is 13 meters. But for a brush machine, it's holding its position pretty well. I'm kind of impressed with that aspect. We'll take the video that I took will be on screen. Of course, this sort of machine is not going to have a gimbal, so your video won't be stabilized. I'm descending pretty heavy there. Let's bring it back to us a little bit more. Boy, it's pretty responsive. It's pretty amazing now what we can get out of a brush vehicle. GPS, video. We still have not regained our Wi-Fi connection, and that's not terribly unusual because once you lose it, it's kind of done. There is also a shooter game with this. If you want to see that in action, I can attempt to set that up, but you'll need to leave a comment below and let me know if you're actually interested in that or not. Another thing, let me take this back up and forward. See how it kind of comes back like it recoils almost. I'm going to go ahead and video again, just by chance it's recording the video on board. But the battery, you will need to charge it via the balance lead because they seem to internally reverse the red and black wires with positive and negative. With the connector it looks right, but if you plug it into a charger you'll either get smoke or you will get an error on the charger, which is what I got on all my hobby grade chargers. You could take a voltmeter to it and you can test it for yourself if you want, but the actual plug that you plug into the unit is reversed. So if you don't get a battery that's made specifically for this vehicle, which it is a very thin, flat, and long battery, you will need to reverse the connector on that, otherwise you'll blow up the machine. I'm going to go ahead and press the video button again just to see if we had some more video, and you'll already been looking at it on screen if we did. Let's take it way over here. We're going to try the return to home. This could be the last we see of it, maybe, if it goes awry. And we're going to go up. I know it's probably just a speck in the sky. And I'm going to press the return to home. Hopefully it doesn't land in the trees. I don't think it's started its descent yet. It's pretty close to the spot that we took off at. Are you coming down? There we go. Oh no. And then stop. Okay, so the spot I had it in originally was right here. So that's pretty reasonable. I'd say that's pretty good. You might expect better if you spent $1,000 on your machine, but this one is not $1,000. Let's take off and fly a bit more. I'll return to home, turn that. Why is return to home staying on?
This part I never did get figured out. It seems like that if you use return to home, you're going to have to unplug the machine in order to get it back in the air normally again. Return to home, in my instance, just always stayed on. Once you brought it back in, it wanted to be powered off, and it wanted to go right back through the geomagnetism calibration and gyro calibration before it would take off again. It doesn't seem all that reasonable to me, because if you use return to home, you're kind of done with your flight, but it's something to be aware of, and it was a little bit confusing to me.
Okay, we're going to have to put up with the annoying beep. Return to home won't stop. Is it going to come right back? It does seem like it's trying to come back. And it's going to land again. Oh, let's stop. Okay. So that was my first try at return to home. Let's see. As my previous flights, I didn't get that far. Okay, I'm going to turn the remote off. Turn it back on. Okay, the remote's now locked on. Let's try to... Boy, return to home is still on. That's ridiculous. I can't get it off. I'm going to unplug it. So I took another look at the instructions, and it's supposed to just press it once to activate it, press it another time to stop it. So... It beeps twice, but it's just going to land again. What if we just take right back off? No, return to home again. Okay, I'm going to end this review right there. So some of the features can be a little bit frustrating to use and activate. As you saw there, I had troubles with the return to home and being able to return to fly. If you unplug the machine, then you got to go through the calibration again to get GPS and geomagnetism locked on. Once you get it in the air, it actually does what it's supposed to do pretty well. But the setup process is a little bit frustrating. It doesn't always work. You're going to have to fuss with it a bit. The video on screen hopefully showed you what the kind of quality you'll get from the camera. It is a fixed camera angle. You're not going to get that changed. We do have an SD card there on the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. And again, the polarization of the battery does seem to be reversed, so you do need to be careful with that. That's the JJRC Tracker. If you have any comments or questions, or you want to see some of the other features, if there's enough interest, I'll sure go to a larger space. We can work on waypoints, or maybe look into the AR shooter program. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.